You're watching another Nerd Stalker interview.
Good morning. This is Greg Gloria, aka Social Greg, for the Nerd Soccer Media Network. Today, I'm pleased to talk with Marcie Rogo, the head of operations at Tapestry Incorporated. Tapestry helps seniors connect with their families and loved ones through their tablet, mobile device, smartphone, and internet browser. And they've been very successful on the both private senior users and those in the aged care sector. So Tapestry announced also the acquisition of Connect Around, which was Marcie's former startup company, and we'll talk a little bit more about that with Marcie. So a little bit about Marcie. Backed with her corporate consulting and assisted living experience, she made it her determination to launch a business for the aging population to help them safely connect in a fun, interactive environment, and that keeps them kind of stimulated and promotes in-person activity. So anyway, good morning, Marcie. Thanks for
Good
joining us
morning.
on Nerd Soccer live from Southern California somewhere, right?
Somewhere I'm hiding here.
We'll
Don't
keep
know
that under
where.
wraps. We'll keep that under wraps. No problem. But anyway, let's get into this. Tell us about the senior issues you've discovered working in that area, and about especially about connecting with loved ones and friends.
Sure. So there's a couple of things going on that are some huge trends. It's the aging trend, of course, of the baby boomer population, which is the largest uh, around the world. And then you have this kind of epidemic that's happening called, social isolation, which was already an issue when a spouse or someone would pass away and an older adult is in their home alone, or they have to move into a new place. But now we've made it even worse by really marginalizing them when it comes to our digital world. So we're
Mm,
not doing it on purpose, and of course I'm guilty too. But we leave our elders behind by having all this sharing, real time signing up for Facebook, texting, even sometimes FaceTiming and Skyping without kind of bringing them into it. And this is really understandable given how many concerns you have when you're young and you're taking care of your children and things like that. However, it's really hurting the seniors in our lives, and they know that they're being left behind. So Tapestry was created to try to bridge the gap and to create a multi-generational platform where no one's lives are really interrupted, but the older adult gets that real-time kind of photo sharing, messaging, etc., that they weren't getting before.
so kind of go through how Tapestry works, how you kind of immerse those seniors with their son, daughters, grandchild's lives.
Sure. So maybe I'll just start with a story because that will kind of paint the picture.
Okay.
So my grandmother is independent. She does what she wants. She's having a good life, but she is living alone, and she doesn't want to go on Facebook. It is just not for her. Even though she can use a tablet and the computer, she has concerns about privacy, as well as a lot of older adults really find the interface complicated, and so do I sometimes. And it's just, Facebook's good for some things, not great for others.
Mm,
So she knows that she had a brand new great granddaughter that was born, my niece, and that we were kind of texting new photos every day, so she does something different, she does something new. And my grandmother would try to call one of us to come over and show her the new photos, and we would feel guilty not coming over often enough, and she would kind of be sitting there like, well, I don't want to be a burden, but like this sucks because I'm not getting to see all these great photos, and I don't want to text message and all this. So we put her on Tapestry. We gave her the tablet version, but she can use it on her desktop. And now she doesn't have to wait. Me as a younger generation, I actually just upload the photo from my phone into the app. It takes about like
right.
4 seconds, as if you'd upload it to Facebook. My cousin actually just has his Facebook account hooked up, so it pulls his photos in, but nothing goes onto Facebook. So he doesn't have to interrupt any part of his day, and she gets to consume and receive on a platform. If you take a look at our website, that's so simple and very, very straightforward and kind of universal. It's a very modern app. It looks really, really new, but it's actually just very simple. So.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting. It's almost kind of like social private messaging. It's kind of an interesting interesting take you
Yeah.
guys have on this. It's
We call them a wall, like you make a walled garden pretty much of the people that you really want to be sharing with. And you can have multiple groups. You can have your, if you live in a senior living facility, you'll have one family, Tapestry family, that's all of the residents, kind of like a horizontal. And then each one of those residents has their vertical blood relatives, so they can share with one or both. And it goes both ways. Older adults don't just want to consume; they want to share as well. So
Sure.
it's really nice.
Wow. So it's interesting. Yeah. So you guys, I think Tapestry's out of Australia, isn't it? Or is that's where its headquarters is based, I believe?
Yeah, so the Australian government is quite wonderful and actually really supports its new businesses. There are tons of grants and opportunities there to get funding out of the traditional, raise money from an angel investor, etc. So it's a great place to start a company. I got my MBA in Australia actually during our recession.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I just thought, you know what, maybe this isn't the place to be because everyone's getting fired. In 2009 or whatever it was, and I met Andrew through my MBA network, who was the founder of Tapestry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in fact, we interviewed Hugh Geiger of Allo Mobile, who's kind of addressed that same kind of thing of actually just having a device that actually will keep people safe. It's a mobile device that actually, you could press and you don't have to dial things, and if you want to give it to grandma or grandpa or kids, they could do that. It's a really simple. It's GPS located as well, so it might work well with your actually application. But we'll stick to your application here.
No, yeah, I mean partnerships are really important, and also people with kind of late stage dementia.
Yeah.
Those kind of things are really really great because they don't feel like they're being looked at, but you can quietly kind of make sure they don't maybe get lost or.
Now, was this app primarily on the English-speaking side? Because obviously there's a lot of populations out there that's aging. I have a Japanese background, and there's always stories on the Japanese news about just seniors just dying alone, passing away alone in their apartments and stuff like that. It's really sad and a shame, actually. So, do you guys have plans of going out to other languages, or?
Absolutely, yeah. So U.S. was going to be the first kind of expansion, and then one of our founding investors is actually Shanghai-based, and so China was actually what we were really looking at next. But I mean, definitely, it's an issue everywhere. And maybe 30 years ago, especially in Japan and China, the older adult would move in with their kids. But either in China, they only now have one kid, which is a huge problem because if that kid moved away, which is happening a lot, to other countries, there's not an infrastructure there to take in that older adult yet, and it's a huge concern.
Yeah, which makes it a huge opportunity for Tapestry. So
yeah,
it's
a big opportunity. We are starting with the features that we know matter the most to an older adult that really get them to adopt, because a lot of our users actually had never even used a computer before. And if you say, Mom or Dad, use this this monitoring device so I can make sure that you don't have low blood pressure today, they're going to just say, stop babysitting me, like I'm fine, But if you say, hey, I have a tool that you can get the new photos of your child or cousin or great granddaughter while she's on the other side of the world, they're going to adopt. And we want it to be fun and cool and modern. And down the line, as we grow, we will bring in, those other important, health features that are so crucial. But right now we're on this kind of preventative wellness, kind of social isolation mission. And that will include all of the other things.
Oh, you guys are going to benefit from a lot of the mobile devices. I think starting to integrate some of those standard features like monitoring and stuff like that. I just came back from the Apps World conference this week, and they're talking nothing but actually more integration of some of these MEMS devices, for health and monitoring more. Not just health. Not just heart and the standard blood pressure stuff, but I mean really monitoring people. Almost it's kind of crazy, but it's it makes a lot of sense, and I think you guys are going to be well positioned for that. So.
So too.
Yeah. So we were talking about business. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's the hope. That's why I'm pushing forward every day.
Well, we're talking about business, and we'll just get into that. So, you've actually just recently, last year, you basically merged with your startup called Connect Around with Tapestry, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did that go? Our audience is a lot of startup people here in San Francisco, and we talk a lot about integration and moving founders into other places, and how did that come? How is that going, or how did it go?
It went really well, and I would recommend merging or being acquired or whatever you have to do to as many small startups out there as possible, because the truth is, there aren't going to be a million winners in every category. So, and we're all better together. Like, it's just straightforward. And to kind of let your bit of pride about your few percent dilution keep you from having a better product, to my opinion, I can say it's really immature. And Andrew and I had been in touch since the onset of both of our companies through the Australian MBA program. And he was really focused on his family unit at the time, and I was focused on a peer-to-peer approach among active retirees in their 10,000 person golf communities, although I was aware of the spectrum of care and how we'd move forward into assisted living, skilled nursing, etc. But starting with that kind of first golf community format, and it was almost like a private Facebook. It was, again, this walled garden, peer-to-peer only, profiles, requests, would anyone like to share a ride? Would anyone like to do this? And it went really well, but we definitely had some limitations where we were being told, hey, we'd like to bring our family members in, because what was clear is as much as they loved the peer-to-peer and there were some other great things that worked out there, like dating, they really cared about their grandchildren more than anything. And Andrew was over in Australia focusing on the family unit and piloting it in peer groups, like a group of nuns that some were together and some were virtual, and then a whole group of assisted living residences in another virtual village. And they were saying, we'd like to have a peer sharing as well. So we both knew we needed what the other was doing. And Connect Around was just, we were just, I guess Andrew came overseas to San Francisco in about April, and we were talking about our challenges, or maybe it was a little later, whatever it was. We kind of looked at each other and we're like, wait, we should just do this together, because he was also about to expand into the U.S.
Oh, wow.
So it was just like, okay. And we're both really collaborative people, and we both know that, trying to, protect your startup idea, from everyone and compete with everyone and not tell, is not the approach to success in this world. There's too many of us out there. So we talked for several months, and so I was smaller than them, so they acquired me. So now we're one bigger startup, but still a startup.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you. I think when I was kind of rooting around the Apps World conference here, it was more apparent that people were promoting more how to get noticed, how to acquire more users. And your approach is very pragmatic. Why don't you find some synergy between another company and partner with them and do a bigger thing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, I appreciate an introduction to Tapestry and your service, and it sounds really good for the seniors. And we'll close off this interview. But anyway, thanks for your time. How can people get a hold of you, Marcie, and get a hold of Tapestry?
Absolutely. You can follow us on Facebook. I believe it's at Tapestry Company. Sorry, on Twitter at Tapestry Company. You can go to our Facebook page. Or if you want to just get a hold of me and we can chat about anything, it's Marcie, MARCIE, .rogo, ROGO, at tapestry.net.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you again. I appreciate that, and I think that you're on the right road to success there by merging and actually handling the seniors. I think that's a really underserved market, so I appreciate what you guys are doing.
It's the hugest trend, but the unsexiest, least given attention to startup space out there. So
well, I think you're making a lot of seniors happy, because I think there's a lot of people that just can't visit some of the homes and stuff like that as often as they would like to, and they keep their contact, and why not use technology to do that? So Anyway, that was Marcie Rogo, the head of operations at Tapestry, committed to providing the seniors with user-friendly technology, so it helps them keep in touch. So, anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone. This is Greg Flory, aka Social Greg, for the Nerd Soccer Media Network. Sorry about that. We believe in tech, startups, design, and you. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and be careful out there. Thanks, Marcie. Take care of
Thank
yourself.
you. Bye.
Bye.